Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss a video from testbook.com.
Jai Hind guys, welcome you on Testbook.com and I am Nitin Mishra, your English educator. And here in this class we will be talking about the vocabs, analysis and the statement structure of editorial The Hindu. I hope that आप आज की टॉपिक समझ गए होंगे. फ़िलहाल आते हैं स्क्रीन पर जहां पर हम डिस्कस करेंगे आज की सबसे पहले एडिटोरियल की थीम क्या है. सो लेट्स हैव अ लुक व्हाट इज़ द थीम ऑफ द एडिटोरियल. आज की थीम है ग्रेट एक्सपेक्टेशंस. एज द नेम सजेस्ट, ऑब्वियसली द आर्टिकल इज टॉकिंग अबाउट expectations, and further it says the Jagmohan Reddy government must build on Andhra Pradesh high potential. I guess this is expectations from Jagmohan Reddy's government. So you probably, I guess, well versed with the same case that happened there. So let's read the article and then we'll discuss the words given and used there in the article. It says that the YSR Congress party begins only the second government is bifurcated successor states of Andhra Pradesh following a thumping win in the Assembly and Lok Sabha elections. The party won all-round support across classes with significant gains among Dalits and Adivasis. A firm mandate from farmers and the youth in favor of the YSRCP catapulted it to a 4/5 majority in the assembly. So you can see how Dalit and Adivasis gained some significant, I guess, thanks to all-round support across the classes and a farm mandate from farmer and youth favor of catapulted. So the first word that I would like to discuss here is bifurcated. A very I guess well versed word. आपने इस word को बहुत अलग अलग जगहों पर यूज़ किया होगा. By means to, furcate का मतलब होता है direct करना. So when you divide into two parts, you bifurcate. And probably columns or things can be bifurcated. जब आप line खींचते हैं आप bifurcate करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Example sentence here is a sample of water was taken the point where the river bifurcates itself. That means जहाँ नदी अपने आप को दो अलग अलग दिशाओं में तोड़ती है, bifurcate करती है, divide करती है. And there is a question, examination की question है. In the following question 4 words are given out of which one is correctly spelled. तो आपको बताना है correct word क्या होगा. Obviously observe करेंगे तो आप easily answer कर सकते हैं that option 4 has the correct spelling uses bifurcated. So we can easily tick the correct answer bifurcated, option choice number 4. Okay, so let's move on to the question word next, which is mandate, which was another word from the article. And mandate basically is a word that refers to the authority given to an elected group of people, such as government, to perform an action or govern a country. Example sentence: at the forthcoming election, the government will be seeking a fresh mandate from people. So this is how you can use this word mandate in your own views whenever required. I hope that ये दोनों ही शब्द आपको समझ आए होंगे. And now the question related to the word is, what is the synonyms of word mandate? And I guess here you can see the correct answer to the word will be injunction, because injunction basically refers to mandate or order something. That is how can be treated as a synonyms. Okay, let's move on to the further article part that goes strong mandate come with great expectations, and the new government will have to address the fiscal issues and have lingered since bifurcation while registering high economic growth rates. Andhra Pradesh, which lost a significant portion of undivided state's revenue, has sustained high public debt. It reached 28.79% of the state GDP according to the latest figures. The previous Telugu Desam Party government led by and Chandrababu Naidu had gone to a populist spree in the latter part of its tenure, exacerbating the state's debt situation. And the word here is sustained. So if you will focus on the word sustain, that refers to continue for a long time. When you sustain, you continue for a long time, you exist for a long time. And the example sentence is the president's speech was greeted by sustained applauses, and hence you can use this word into several aspects. And another question is here about the word synonym to the word sustained, and the synonym should be, you have to choose one out of these five. And I guess you can see the correct answer for the question will be option choice number 4, because continuity without interruption is the correct idea behind sustained, the word sustained. So continuous without any interruption means sustain is the correct synonyms to the word. Filal, it's time to move on to the next word that is, I guess, given in this next part of the article. The YSRCP has also promised its own set of welfare measures. While redistribution measures tend to spur consumer demands, wasteful populism could hurt the state. And the Chief Minister Y.S. Jagmohan Reddy must be more deconcerning on this aspect than his procedures. If you will see the word predecessors basically is the word refers to someone who had a job or a position before someone else, or something that comes before another thing in time or in a series, that is predecessors. So here you can see the two terms. First is successor and the second is predecessor. So focus on the present, that is green. So green के अगर आप आगे की बात करें तो वो successors हो गया, और उसके ठीक पहले की बात करें यानी existing से पहले predecessors और existing के बाद successor. तो इस तरीके से आप इसे समझ सकते हैं. एग्जाम्पल सेंटेंस है माई प्रीडेसर्स वर्कड इन दिस जॉब फॉर 12 years. मुझसे आने वाले पहले लोग 12 सालों तक इस जॉब पे काम कर चुके हैं. फिलहाल एक क्वेश्चन है इस वर्ड से, दैट इज प्रीडेसर्स, एंड आपको बताना है ठीक ऑपोजिट इन मीनिंग. I guess without any doubt we can answer successors. So you can see the word successor is the correct answer because it means one that was before the current, and exactly opposite है one that will be after the current. So successors is the antonym of the word predecessors. Okay, so let's move on to the next part, that is another legacy of the TDP government was its emphasis on building a grand new capital at Amravati. And the word here is legacy. This word has been more importance in, I guess, articles reading comprehension. So the word legacy refers to money or property that you receive from someone after they die. So when you get the property or money after someone's death, you get the legacy. The Greeks have a rich legacy of literatures because they had the good, I guess, पास्ट राइटर्स, क्योंकि उनके पास बहुत अच्छी लेगेसी है ग्रीक्स के पास. And if we move on to the next, I guess, editorial article, here it says that the state needs to function in the workable capital city. The new government should scale back the pointlessly grandiose aspect of plan and focus the necessary bricks and mortar. The government should take forward the previous regime's work towards diversification of the state's economy, focusing further in industrialization. New industry and capital have flowed in after bifurcation, helping spur economic growth. Much more can be done considering Andhra Pradesh potential, including leveraging its strong diaspora. This should be among the priorities of the government. So the two words are regimes and spur. So regime and spur has been into discussion. तो एक बार वर्ड को डिस्कस करते हैं. spur, that means to encourage an activity or development, making it faster. An example sentences: rising consumer sales have the effect of spurring the economy, I mean encouraging the economy. So you can use this word into various aspects. And now the question is, what does the term spurt basically refers to? So obviously you can see that the correct answer for the question will be obviously option choice number 2, that is rapid increase in the activity or process, and hence it can be taken as a correct answer. आई होप आपको ये क्वेश्चन समझ आया होगा. बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट वर्ड पे, दैट इज रेजाइम. मीन्स अ पर्टिकुलर गवर्नमेंट और अ सिस्टम और अ मैथड ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, दैट इज कॉल्ड रेजाइम. सो द रेजाइम इज in this office is hard work and more hard work, and this is how you can see how we work. The method of working is hard work. And the question is that synonyms of regime will be what? Obviously to rule. And this is how we can answer the correct answer as option choice number 5. And let's move on to the next part. I guess here we have the next part. As much has been made of the need of special category status for the state, but this may have little benefit beyond its emotive values. The government can address fiscal concerns through growth and diversification and meaningful redistribution rather than expending political capital seeking a legacy from the center. In any case, as Mr. Reddy has noticed, there is a little chance of the center condensing the status to the state, as the BJP-led government at the center enjoys a clear majority, does not require the YSRCP support. Another encouraging sign for the state is amiable relationship between Mr. Reddy and Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. In contrast to the animus, the persisted during Mr. Naidu's tenure. The word persisted is the word of highlight and has to be discussed. So persisted refers to if something unpleasant feeling or situation persists, it continues to exist. I mean it exists. Persist means that exists for longer period. If he persists in asking awkward question, he keeps on asking awkward question. तो आप देख सकते हैं keep on going on का sense persist से आता है. Okay. So here we have, I guess, another aspect, which is, I guess, a small discussion over the article editorial that says slowdown confirmed with the economic crisis and deepening the government will have to hasten reforms. ये एक दूसरा आर्टिकल है जो द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर में देखने को मिला. इसे रीड करते हैं. There is now no denying that the second Modi government takes office amid a clear economic slowdown. the first macro data set released under the new Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's watch on Friday showed an underperforming economy with GDP growth falling to 5.8% in fourth quarter of 2018 and 19 and pulling down to overall growth for fiscal to a 5-year low of 6.8 growth in the gross value added, which the GDP minus taxes subsidies fell to 6.6% in 2018 and 19, pointing to a serious slowdown. If further confirmation were needed, the growth in core sector output, a set of 8 major industrial sectors, fell to 2.6% in April compared to 4.7% in the same month last year. And finally, unemployment data and controversial suppressed by the union government so far showed that joblessness was at the 45-year high of 6.1 in 2017 and 18. These numbers highlights the challenges ahead for Ms. Sitharaman as she sits down to draft the budget for 1920. To be presented on July 5, the economy is beset by the consumption slowdown as reflected in failing sales of everything from automobiles to consumer durables, even fast-moving consumer goods. So let's discuss the highlighted word beset. It basically means having a lot of trouble with something or having to deal with a lot of something that causes a problem. And the example is with the amount of traffic nowadays, even a trip across town is beset by with danger. And you can see how we can use this as a word in the language that we use. Coming on to the rest part, here I again have a word highlighted that is subdued, but before that we'll go through the article. It says private investment is not taking off while government spending, which kept the economy afloat during the last NDA government, was cut back in the last quarter 18-19 to meet the fiscal deficit target of 3.4%. The good news is that inflation is undershooting the target and oil prices are on the retreat again, but the rural economy remains in distress. As seen by the retreat 2.9 growth in agriculture last fiscal, the sector needs a good monsoon this year to bounce back. Overall, economic growth in the first quarter of this fiscal is likely to remain subdued and any improvement is unlikely until. So you can see the word subdued here. That refers to if a color or light is subdued, it is not very bright, something that is dull. So he seemed a bit subdued. He seems to be a dull at lunch. He is all right. Is he all right? So आप देख सकते हैं when someone is down, so it is subdued. And now the remaining part is the late second quarter of the early third. There are not too many options before the new finance minister. In the near term, she has to boost consumption, which means putting more money in the hands of people. That in turn means cutting taxes, which is not easy given the commitment to rein in the fiscal deficit. In the medium term, Ms. Sitharaman has to take measures to boost private investments even as she opens up the public spending again. These call for major reforms starting with land acquisition and labor, corporate taxes by reducing exemptions and dropping rates, and nursing banks back to health. On the table will be options such as future recapitalization of the ailing banks and consolidating. The question though is where the money will come from. With tax revenues likely to be subdued owing to the slowdown, the center will have to look at the alternative sources such as disinvestment, There may be little choice but to go big on privatization. A rate cut by Reserve Bank of India widely expected this week would certainly help boost sentiments, but it is budget that will really set the tone for the economy. I hope that after going through the article editorial you would have got the gist. Don't forget to write me the tone of the last editorial, how you find it. आपको इस एडिटोरियल की टोन कैसी लगी, आपको क्या लगा, ऑथर का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू कैसा था, ज़रूर लिख के भेजिएगा. फ़िलहाल आज की क्लास में इतना ही. हैव अ ग्रेट फैंटास्टिक academic journey. Do well in the examination. Work harder, work smartly. If you have any doubt, you can write me on nitin.mishra@testbook.com or faculty@testbook.com. So have a nice day, guys. Jai Hind.